What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are here to react to the newest Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark trailer. Guillermo del Toro is on board for this, and I'm super stoked about it. I remember reading the books back in elementary school that we picked up from the Scholastic Book Fair.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, my God. That's right.
Yeah, this is something that I'm really hoping will be a pretty cool nostalgia trip.
Well, they're visualizing, like scary stories to tell in the dark, which, you know, a lot of kids do remember. I remember seeing them, and I remember looking at a few of them, but yeah, I never picked one up or anything like that. But I am into scary stuff, and if there's someone out there who knows horror, especially bringing monsters to life that have never been brought to life before, it's Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy just has his shit together when it comes to knowing what scratches at the dark side of the human psyche. And for this being his first thing coming off of his first film coming off of his big Oscar win for The Shape of Water, I mean, we'll have to see how this turns out. I'm excited. So, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, we shall. Let's go.
Excuse me.
This town has told stories about me. Horrible stories. But they don't realize I have scary stories of my own.
Sarah Bellows. Tell me a story.
Oh, he's not directing, he's producing.
Sarah
Creepy
Bellows'
over the
book.
rainbow.
The stories write themselves, and it all comes alive.
You don't read the book. The book reads you. I'm afraid I'm gonna die, Dad.
We're next. We're next.
Hell yeah. This looks really cool.
Damn. So, yeah, okay.
So I gotta look up something about it real quick.
Okay. So, horror has always been something that I've been interested in doing. And people have, and I've seen some interesting horror films over the last few years. I remember there was actually a long time ago, there was a short film that was circling the internet that a lot of people said was one of the scariest things out there that if anyone had ever seen. And it was a little short film called Lights Out. If my memory serves me correctly, we reacted to it a long time ago. And then a couple years later, they actually made it into a movie.
Yeah.
And I will be honest, I watched it and it was pretty damn good. It was really, really damn good. And there's been several horror things that have come out here recently. Number one, Haunting of Hill House, which a lot of people have said is probably the scariest thing on Netflix. And then, of course, there's Jordan Peele's Get Out, which was a really good psychological, Twilight Zone horror movie. And then we had a few years ago before that, Oculus, which was a study in what we do subconsciously while our minds are distracted. That's just like, and then of course there was Hush, which was also really good, and dude, and then of course even sci-fi horror. I mean, you look at A Quiet Place, that was really well done.
Yeah. And one thing that I've been a big fan of is kind of, apparently it's completely up to who's watching it, because I've talked to people that fucking love it like I do, and then people who are just like, I couldn't get into it. But American Horror Story has been something I've been enjoying a lot in recent times.
Well, American Horror Story, I will say, for me, some seasons are great, some seasons are okay, and then some seasons are not so great.
Yeah, like season 4 Freak Show,
yeah,
in my opinion, is one of the weakest ones.
Yes.
And I think it's because they completely just pretty much did away with any and all supernatural horror during that season.
They did.
And like season is it 6?
Season 6 was
Roanoke.
Yeah.
Roanoke was really hit or miss. Like, there were some good episodes, but overall it was probably one of the most disappointing, like, entire arcs.
And for me, the best series, the first 3 I think are probably the strongest right now.
Well, the most recent one was the strongest since the first 3.
Well, it's because
like
they combined a
like,
lot
it
of
actually
the old ones.
kind of summed up the major overall plot that they started at the end of season 1. Mm-hmm. And it was really, really good. And the one before that, that they basically played off of the election and stuff for.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad either. It was pretty decent. But yeah, it's got like some kind of weaker seasons, and then it's got some really, really good ones. But Coven is still. I loved Hotel, actually.
You thought Hotel was good?
Yeah, I really loved Hotel.
I
I thought
get
Lady
into
Gaga was amazing in it.
Oh no, she was good. It's just I
loved all the other characters in it, especially that's probably actually my favorite Evan Peters part that he's played,
where he plays like the Vincent Price character.
Yeah, the owner of the hotel.
Yeah,
like
I thought he was okay.
Fucking amazing in that.
I thought he was okay. It's just everything else like was a little off kilter and off putting to me.
I don't know. Like I watched it a second time, and I liked it even more the second time as well. So maybe you should rewatch it sometime and see if you like it more the second time.
I'll give it a shot. Coven's probably my favorite as well.
Yeah, a lot of people agree Coven's like hands down the best season. I've heard some people say they like other seasons a little bit more, but most everybody agrees that Coven's fucking awesome.
I would say my favorites. Okay, if I had to list off a top 3 of the ones that are my favorites, Coven's at the top, and then season 1, and then probably Asylum. I'd put Asylum up there alongside of I don't know. To me it's a bit hit or miss, like Roanoke was. 5. So, like I said, I'll probably have to rewatch 5 and see what I think about that.
Mine changed around as it went, because like initially, like, you know, the first 3, like Coven was my favorite. The first one was my second favorite, and Asylum was my third favorite. And then Hotel replaced Asylum for me.
Okay.
And bumped down the first season to like third place.
Okay.
And then recently, I believe that the most recent season has bumped out third place. Bumped the first one out for third place.
So Coven, Hotel.
Coven's my favorite. Hotel's my second favorite, and the most recent one was my favorite, or third favorite, really.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, it's a fucking cool series. Like, it just kind of made me happy that they put something on TV that actually had really good horror concepts in it, and didn't always play off of the same thing. You know, they change it up a lot, so you'll see different things in different episodes.
Well, that's one reason why I like
keeps
Coven.
You guessing.
That's one reason why I like Coven is because the supernatural aspect of that, and it being set in New Orleans, which is a hotbed of just different religious entities coming in there, because you have voodoo, the two sides, voodoo and hoodoo. You have Santeria, you have Wicca, you have all of these other black magic, old alchemy and black magic practitioners that came in there, and a little bit of the religion rubbed off on a lot of the people in that. area, and people are aware of it. People are aware of that, and it wouldn't surprise me if there's some crazy shit going on. But as for Asylum where you weren't sure what was real the entire time. That's what got me. Asylum, that's what attracted me to Asylum, was because, you weren't sure what the hell was happening 100% of the time, because, there was like demonic possessions, there was aliens, then there was, of course, a character in it who was a serial killer who was really good at hiding it. And then
also played by one of my favorite actors. So that helped as well.
Well, yeah, Zach Quinto is a really good actor.
He's a badass.
Yeah, but you see, good horror is all over the place, and just people often go to the common staples, because I remember for the longest time people were just like, "Oh, Saw is like the greatest horror movie franchise of all time." It's like it's made a lot of money,
Not
but
as
outside
a franchise, no.
But out of all the films, I'd say like the first three or
the first Saw is in my top 10 horror films.
Yeah, but like
really
the
fucking
first
love
three
the
are
first
like the
one.
only good ones. The first three, in my opinion, are
and
the
the
only
second
good ones.
and third are still questionable.
Well, that's true too.
They completely did away with one of the things I thought was really good about the first one, which was the fact that they left a little bit of the horror aspect of that situation to the imagination.
They did.
And then immediately in the second one, they just went into total like show everything gore fest. And
True.
it took away a
That's
little
true.
bit of like my mind filling it in and making it worse than it even was.
Well, that's James Wan. How James Wan works versus how a studio head thinks that gore horror should work. You see, they couldn't show off a lot of stuff in the first Saw movie because the budget was so minuscule. And then
but it actually worked to their advantage.
It did. It worked very well to their advantage, and the horror that was amped up because of that, it shows. And then in the second film, I know what you're saying. In the second film, they just decided, let's just start showing everything and gross people out, which got old very fast.
Well, when you've already seen as many horror movies as like I have, like anybody that's like a horror fanatic, gore just doesn't work that well on us anymore because we're fucking desensitized to it. Unless it's something we haven't seen before, like just something fucking insane, like gore-wise, is not really going to make us have much of a reaction anymore.
True.
So it's not as an effective tool as most of the other tools that horror movie makers have at their disposal.
Well,
that's why I like stuff like this. Like, it's not gore, it's just the imagery, it's the creepy fucking imagery.
Yeah.
And it's always cinematography is one of the things that I can't explain how it works. But I can tell you when it does or doesn't. Like, it actually worked really well in Us. Us's cinematography was actually my favorite part about it.
Well, yeah.
Because it gives, tons of... that's, your tension-building tool, I think, pretty much, over anything else. Well, it's how you choose to shoot it, how you choose to do the sound.
I also like some of the final scenes in it, because...
And editing.
Because... No, you were talking about the cinematography. The cinematography... In that one scene where the two characters are fighting and they're encased in shadows, and that actually ties in to the movie plot line as well, and you understand it at that point because in the silhouette of the shadows you can't really tell 100% who is who. Yeah, and it's just like, wait, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And it's awesome how they tie it all together. And I thought that. There were certain things in Us that didn't make sense, but overall, still, I'm glad I went and watched it because there was still a lot in it that I can take from it and I can digest from it that I'm pleased with. Yeah, it didn't have the same punch as Get Out, but still, it was pretty damn good.
I want to watch it again.
I do too. I
rewatched the trailer actually today just to refresh myself on what if anything did they change, and I only really noticed two parts. Is they sped up the speed of the one character climbing the tree in the trailer from what it actually looked like in the film.
They did,
and I think that made it creepier in the trailer. And they had the boy walking forward out of the fire in the trailer.
Yeah, to make it look like he walked out of the fire.
I'm not gonna say why, but because it's kind of a spoiler, That's the only two really differences. And other than that, it was actually exactly a trailer for what it was. It's just my brain for some reason formed a different idea. And like I want to go back and rewatch it for what it is rather than what I was kind of hoping / expecting it to be.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense, and see if I...
No. That's 100%.
So, like, I liked it okay, but not as nearly as much as I hoped I would, like, Get Out, you know? So, maybe I'll like it more if I watch it again.
Yeah, if you watch it with eyes unclouded.
Yeah.
I understand. So, yeah, I'm excited about this. I want to see this whenever it comes out. It'll probably be rated PG-13, so you won't expect much gore, but, hey, it's based off of... books for kids, so
yeah, it's like they could theoretically do it R-rated just because a lot of the audience of the books is, you know, my age,
older. Yeah, they're a bit older now.
But I mean, if kids still read those books by chance nowadays, like if that's still something they carry at the Scholastic book fairs in elementary school, then there's the potential for
if that's even still a thing going on.
Yeah, I don't know, like for sure.
Kids with books.
There's still potential for there to be kids that like this nowadays. I just feel like it's probably not as many as are more close to our age.
Yeah, true.
But either way, it still looks cool, and I'll see it for sure.
Yeah. Well, I will too. So, yeah, if you all are excited for this, let us know in the comments down below. And also, if you're wanting to see more from us, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, leave a like on the video. We greatly appreciate it. And until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
And we'll see you then. Peace out.